You guys have just talked to Morgrim, and you have requisitioned him for his assistance in dealing with a potential Oathbreaker, and he has agreed to watch, at the very least. And, well, see what happens. Guys, it's been about 10-15 minutes.
Should we go speak with the proprietor of the Golden Moog? Because he is losing customers every time they get murdered. Yeah? They will buy less gear, there will be less gambling about if they survive or not. Or maybe he is all part of it?
I think the gambling part.
Oh, wait, yeah, didn't we place bets last time? And we did technically.
Yeah, but what if they're killing parties to ensure they win a bet?
Yeah, I know.
But,
so when I go.
Yeah, would it be too risky, or would it potentially make a good assistance?
I think
they're the enemy, dude.
Yeah, let's hold off on that.
Okay.
He didn't like us very much the last time we were there.
So, anyone else you'd like to discuss things with? Anything else you'd like to do? Quickly running by?
I'd like to go down on my knees really quickly before we do anything and say, Ronald, my dude, we have been really close for these past couple of sessions. If anything should happen to come, please grant me thine favor. I have been putting coins aside, 1 in 10, as we said, yeah.
Was that a fart?
You waited. No, I'm moving on my chair. You wait a few seconds for a response. Nothing happens, but you think someone may have. Yeah, but you wait anyway. You never know.
Yeah.
This time, nothing. But you do feel a bit better having prayed, at least.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I feel good about my rolls.
First roll, -9.
So, are you ready?
Yeah, there's far too many secrets to tell Ringle about right now, just yet.
Ringle!
Are you ready?
We go back to Dronaz.
Go back to Dronaz. He's still equipping his armor at this point. It's a slow endeavor, putting on suit of chainmail over your leathers and then plate on top of that. It's a lot. It's a lot of armor. And the guy by now is looking like 1 foot wider. The helmet's just going on as you appear in, and he has a two-handed axe in his hand. Very same axe which you had given to him not long ago. He has a very stoic look on his face right now. So, are you ready?
As the day I was born.
Yeah.
This will go one of two ways. Either we're wrong and they'll kill us, or we're right and they might kill us, or we might kill them.
I like to take my chances with us being in the right and them being in the wrong.
Good.
And I laugh heartily.
This business is not for my clan. I'll deal with this myself, he says to one of the dwarfs by the side. They've agreed to come and aid me. Yeah, we shouldn't need any of that. If he has any honour left, he'll fight me as an honourable man. Or dwarf, as the case may be. And Sanarak moves up, strolling through the streets, turning some heads as he goes. He has some pretty beastly armour on right now, fully equipped.
How swag does that armor look?
He's moving at a slow old pace. Mind you, he's only walking stoically, but
increased pass or what?
He's like plus 20 cool factor right now. The like his reputation with dwarfs is unmatched. This is definitely the most heavily armored dwarf you've ever seen in your life. And having a two-handed axe, it's huge, but he's equipping it in one hand, large shield in the other. Large shield, almost the size of him, but seems to sport it pretty well. Outside, as you arrive, are your friends, Brutus and Morgrim. currently eyeing up the doorway. And as we go, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo. Sanarak approaches the two individuals. I am here to speak with him. Who's that? The Oathbreaker. Now stand aside. He grabs his axe and shield and shoves one to one side, the other to the other, and just bursts through the door in front of you. Straight away inside, you can see, stood atop his usual throne, surrounded by a few others, it's Thulgrim. Sanarak walks inside.
We follow behind. Or
Yep. The two dwarfs look quite confused by now with what's going on, and they do kind of shout and sort of murmur for you to stop, but having just been shunted to one side, it takes a few seconds for them to compose themselves. Morgrim follows as well, as does Brutus. They stand behind you. You hear the door close behind. And with that, Sanarak walks forward. You can position yourself how you like for the following dialogue. Staying a few feet away, Sanarak takes a good 20 seconds of silence. You can see by his posture now, his arms slightly wider by the side. He is holding his axe in hand and his shield as if he's ready to charge at someone. Thulgrim, Oathbreaker, have you been killing Ungis down in the mines? Thulgrim's silent for a few moments. What proof do you have of this? Thulgrim throws down the wallet in front that was taken from the individual from Helmgart. I found the bodies. You've been hacking them up, haven't you? Thulgrim stands from his chair. You see now he's not quite as heavily armoured as Sanarak. A two-handed hammer clearly by his side that's easily the same height that he is. A huge plated horned helmet above his head right now. You've not seen him this well armoured before. Ungi do not belong in our home. They do not belong here. There's an awkward silence between the two. Oleg, your stomach feels really bad right now. Rogel, you don't need the obvious pointed out to you. It's just a question of seeing who out of these two individuals is going to basically land the first blow. If you have any guts, Thulgrim, you'll fight me and we'll deal with this the old way. Thulgrim turns to his side, to his left, to his right. Kill them. And we're going to roll initiative.
I pull out like immediately, like I'm waiting for the moment, and I pull out my hammer and shield before combat starts.
Now, we will roll initiative. As the first round, this is basically going to be a surprise action. Either Thulgrim or Dronaz are going to land the first blow for free, initiating the combat. What was that, Grim?
I was telling you, don't forget to put me in a +10 for initiative.
Ah,
so
yes.
I have
Okay.
55.
Oh, dear. Right. Grim? Well, that's going to be... Okay. Thulgrim swiftly moves from where he is standing, charging towards Sanarak, two-handed hammer in hand, swinging it towards him. Let's start combat off. This is going to be rough. It's actually not a great axe. It's a two-handed hammer. I'll have to edit this bit out. Just going to have to give him a proper weapon because this will make a big difference. Trappings. cavalry hammer. That's better. Now, so as we were saying, Thulgrim swiftly charges forward, smacking into Sanarax, raising his two-handed hammer high above his head and trying to slam it down into the ground towards him. Charging forward, he seems to land a blow. Sanarak in response raises his shield up, a very large shield to try and meet this blow.
No, I can't hear anything.
Yeah, get him, Sanarak.
And successfully, the two-handed hammer clashes with the weapon, with the shield, letting out a huge crack that echoes through the room. Grimvald, it's you to go. Do you need me to restart the music?
No, I'm fine. I couldn't hear you, and which
Yeah,
is
right,
the
okay.
replay. Doesn't matter.
No worries.
I'm just gonna go over and assist Sanrak, and started the good old way of outnumbering him.
Okay, you'll get 1 for charging.
Okay, so that's 30 total.
Indeed.
Ornate hammer, 30 total.
Just adjust the volume a little bit. Ah! He's going to try and deflect that. You still hit with a +2 in the end.
So that's a total of 10.
That is a total of 10 damage.
Yeah.
10 damage, right, okay. And that is to his body. Okay. You feel like you're about to do a mighty blow against it with your hammer, and straight onto the side of his shoulder pad, your hammer meets dunk and just bounces off the armor as if you've just hit a brick wall. He turns his head towards you and snarls a little bit. Gonna have to work harder than that, Ungi.
Bruder, we might have a problem.
Olegt, it's you to go.
Oh well. This is going to.
Go get
Actually,
him,
can I
boy.
charge with this injury? I don't know if I can.
Yeah, you can charge. You're wearing a
Okay.
splint right now, which is basically allowing you to have normal movement until the splint breaks.
Okay.
Which could be any moment now. We'll see.
Could be. Could be. All right. Gonna take a swing.
Okay. You're getting +30 now for outnumbering 3 to 1, and I'll add your advantage in manually.
+10
Which is,
for charging.
Oh, yeah, he's actually lost his... Yeah, so the one advantage for charging, so basically it's just +30.
Okay. So modifier change to 30. And
Oof. Nice hit.
Nice.
Not a great defense, so what's your damage +5?
8 plus 5 is gonna be 13.
13. Not bad. That's going to be...
To his right leg.
Okay, you manage to connect your weapon with the side of his leg, and you do hear a slight crack as you think underneath maybe the bone or the flesh may have fractured a little bit. He does stagger to one side in pain, still standing. This guy is built like an ox. Right. Over to Rogel. It is your turn.
So, who's actually a combatant?
The others are currently drawing weapons ready to run toward. Everyone is everyone is drawing weapons as he said that. Basically, Thulgrim led the charge.
Okay, so then I want to do this, and... Oh yeah, it's way within range. I'm going to go ahead and try and dart the guy in the back left.
Back left, okay. Try and dart a Longbeard. Go for it.
I have no idea if it's going to work, because I probably have magic resist.
We'll find out. Okay. Extra 2 hits. So that's 4. That's 10 damage in total, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You mumble a few words to yourself, conjuring 3 black darts which go flying over the heads of the others fighting in front of you, landing in the dwarfs behind. A little murmur comes out from each. They don't seem that fazed by it, but it definitely did sort of, let's say, pinch them a little bit.
Shit.
You gain 1 advantage. Shauna, it's you to go.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and charge in front of Grim.
Okay. Really
And I'm
trying to gang
gonna-
up on this guy. Okay. Plus 40, and I'll add your advantage. So just 40 for your modifier.
Okay.
Him charging forward was a
modifier
really
4.
bad idea.
What's up?
Him charging forward first was really, really bad for him. -1. Okay,
So
so
that's
you won by
9.
3. Yep.
-1 from his success level, so that's, I guess, 10.
What's your weapons damage? 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so then yeah, it would be 10.
Similar to Grim, you charge in, trying to strike him with your blade. It just barely pierces through the chainmail. A couple of rings burst open. The blade may be going an inch into his gut. Or head, actually. Well, close to his head. Okay, glances to the side, but he's all right. What's up,
Rolled a
Grim?
fumble.
Thank you very much. It needs to highlight those. That's something we can ask for. Okay, the maneuver was misjudged, leaving him out of position. Loses grip of a ranged weapon. Next round, his action suffers a penalty of -10. So we'll say that he loses grip of his hammer as a result of that. So he's going to have -10 to his next attack. Well spotted. Thanks for reminding me. Longbeard is going to be charging in against Morgrim. Interest of time. Morgrim takes a little bit of damage from that. Not that much.
So this is way above our power level, both of them.
In a word, yes. This one, however, gets a clear line down to sail into Oleg as he's going to charge in and trying to make a charging attack against Oleg using his one-handed hammer. Apologies, not a one-handed hammer. He tosses his shield to one side. Instead of holding his weapon with one hand, begins to hold it in two. He's wielding a great axe. And he is going to make a glorious swing. And I forgot to add his advantage. Right.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Yeah, that's going to hurt.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Hey, good luck,
hacking.
brother.
So, yeah, if I use my shield, the shield's dead, right? Any player that can hack through armor using
It's -1 to the shield.
Yeah.
Whatever he hits will be -1 AP. The shield won't die, but it's going to be damaged.
So
it was
really,
already
all I
damaged
can
one,
do-
wasn't it?
It was. So really, all I can do is just pray for a crit using my boat hook,
You can boat hook it, yep.
and then lose my arm. Sweet. Should I have 2 advantage because I landed that attack?
Yes.
Yes, you should. Updated.
So should I guess.
Yes.
And then
I
No.
did.
so just 20 modifier. And no.
Okay. So his +4 goes to a +3 because you have your shield. Goes to a plus.
Doesn't crit though.
What's that? Yeah, you do crit him, so we'll work that out in a second, but you still get hit by him. So you're going to deal some damage to him, but he's also dealing some damage to you because he won the overall test. So we're going to do his test first. Charging him with a two-handed axe hurts quite a bit. It's got impact, which means on a successful hit, it adds the result of the unit dice onto the attack as damage, which means it does an additional 6. So, it does 18 damage in total. Mitigated
Okay.
by armor toughness, but not your shield.
Correct. So 5.
Yeah,
So it's going to be 13 damage total.
13 damage total.
Jesus.
Yeah, Oleg's nearly dead.
Shauna's gonna get one shot.
You do also
Same.
have some, let's say, resources if you get hit and don't want to get hit. You've got, all of your shiny bits. Now, you did crit him. So we're going to roll a critical and see what happens. You've done 4 wounds to him, true damage. So that's also made him lose his advantage, which is pretty fortunate for you. That did look like it hurt him a fair bit, so your weapon drives clean through his leg, slicing into the bone and through the tendons. He gets stunned and proned for the next turn, so he's going to be stunned and proned. We'll give him... I have to zoom in a little bit here. Stunned and proned. Okay. So basically, he's kaput for the next round, at least.
He hit the right arm, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit the right arm.
So I need to change my armor because he has hack.
Yes, so it's basically on the superficial layer, it's going to be -1. Right. Sanarak to go now. Sanarak, in return, is going to... He's going to take a swing at the dwarf that has just swung at you and attempt to basically crush him as he's there on the floor, looking pretty weak right now. He's a free hit, so he won't be able to oppose this at all, and Sanarak's going to get a +20 to hit because, well, he can't oppose it. +6. So that is going to be a 15. Lands a really strong blow with this individual who's now laying down, nearly cracking through his skull, but the helmet just manages to give and dents heavily. You can hear him scream out and mumble despite the fact he's sort of barely conscious. That looked pretty rough. You nearly watched a head splat in front of your eyes. Longbeard here is going to charge in. Okay. A little bit more damage done. Morgrim not looking like he's too happy. You hear a few screams coming out from behind you, kind of nervous to look around. Longbeard is going to charge into Brutus. Barely scratching him. Barely doing any damage. Need to get used to doing that. I keep typing in -1. Right. Next one, we're going for... Oh, it's Thulgrim's go. Thulgrim's going to have another swing at Sanarak using his two-handed hammer. Feature of two-handed weapons after charging, they're nowhere near as dangerous. Oh, Sanarak, you look like you're... Defends successfully. Sanarak easily meeting the two-handed hammer with his shield yet again, gaining himself another advantage. Thulgrim looking thoroughly pissed off at this point, lets out a... Sanarak, come fight me on your own. Stop relying on this blooming Hungy to try and help you. Raises his hammer to try and swipe again, but it's not his turn. Right.
Camera pans.
Longbeard is going to charge into the side of Shauna.
Oh no.
Yay.
Right. Now, we're going to use, same as before, he's going to have his great axe roll. How are we looking? -1. Shauna?
You can do it.
I'm gonna reroll.
You're going to re-roll.
That was impressive.
You have a shield, which means that -1 turns into a -2 for him. So
Yeah.
you won that test, thankfully.
So I keep my. I get on the movement.
You're up to 3 advantage, and he's on 0 now. A lucky escape for you. Be pretty confident that if one of these meets you, it's going to cause a huge amount of problems.
You saw what happened to Oleg.
Yeah, like half dead. More than half, quarter dead.
Yes.
Quarter dead.
He's
And
a
on that
quarter five
note,
right now.
one charge going forward. Into Oleg. Not gaining an outnumbering bonus, just simply due to the mess that is the current melee. Let's see how he does. -4. This could be another one of your consistently lucky combats. Let's see how you defend against this.
Boat hook or shield? Boat hook or shield?
Boat hook, boat hook.
He hit my damaged arm. I'm going to lose that arm. Boat hook.
Well, you'd
no
lose the
modifier.
armor on the arm, not the...
Well, I already lost the armor on the right arm.
Right, I see.
Oh,
Yeah, there's no extra bonuses for you. You've got your shield, though, so his -4 goes to a -5. You defend successfully, raising your shield up. You're able to absorb the blow. It sends an awkward shudder through your shoulder, almost feeling like that's going to be possibly dislocated, but you manage to avoid the blow. You're still standing. Somehow. Taking a wide swing, sprinting around beside, one Longbeard appears behind you, Grimvold. Going to make a charging attack. As you are swinging at Sanarak, I will give him a flanking bonus, but I won't give him outnumbering.
Here
And
it comes. Yikes.
+5.
you have a shield, so
that's
you
a plus.
won.
You also have.
And you
a
critical
bonus.
hit him as well. A torn muscle injury. Okay, so you are the luckiest guys in the world. You successfully managed to injure him and defend. Wow. Okay. Okay, fine. One more Longbeard. Down here. It's Morgrim to go. Morgrim is going to take a swing now.
At
One of them.
Wow. He deals not a lot of damage. But he does make a couple of blows land against the individuals beside him. They're looking a little bit better off. A little bit worse for Rare, rather, but not a lot. Oh my word. Brutus as well, having a particularly bad day. None of them seem to be damaging each other much behind you. It seems like it might be a little bit more of a scuffle. Not everyone's trying to kill each other. It's more of a Brutus trying to hold them back, as well as Morgrim trying to simply prevent the others coming to assist, but neither's really applying any lethal blows to each other. Grimvold, it's you to go.
Okay. Do we outnumber the Longbeard that's next to me?
Given that Sean is facing the opposite direction, no.
No. Okay. I'm gonna.
You do have
continue
4 advantage,
attacking
though.
Thane.
Continue attacking the Thane. Fine.
Yeah.
+8. That is a pretty decent hit.
What?
-1. Okay, so that's 9. What's your damage +9?
Wouldn't it be 10? Because 0 and -1?
I don't think that's how it works.
No, that's +9.
No, 0
total.
is 0. It's -1.
Zero. Okay,
It's
so
9.
that's 9.
What's your base damage?
Total of 17.
17.
Yeah.
17.
About
You land a
the-
much better blow on him this time, able to cleave through him, through his body, striking a clean blow across. I find this really hard to read. I need like this bolded or something. Able to get a clean cut through the plate mail, maybe a huge dent in it afterwards as you strike him with your hammer. I really need to remind myself that you use a hammer, not a blade. But
Yeah.
with a huge dent in his chest piece now, he seems to be gasping for air, winded, and struggling to stay upright. Oleg, it's you to go. You gain yourself another advantage. Good job. What are you going to do, Oleg? The one in front of you that is on the floor will be a +20 to attack, and he cannot oppose. The other one by your side is free to swing at.
Gonna have to smack the one that's been floored.
Okay.
Get some revenge.
+20, non-opposed.
+20 plus the advantage.
Yeah,
so
that
30.
gets added automatically. Advantage
Right,
is
I
all
still need
automatic.
to change it to...
You've got one advantage. I've done it for you.
Right, I still need to change the modifier, though, from 10 to 30.
No, your modifier will... No, the advantage is automatically gives you +10. You don't need to change the modifier to reflect that.
Oh, I thought you said there was another 20 mixed in. My bad.
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
20 in total, but just plus 20
Oh.
as a modifier, not 30.
Okay, I'm only seeing 10 as the modifier.
Oh, no, this is top left. Top left. So this isn't for the test difficulty. So when you click your boat hook,
Yeah, I see advantage 1, modifier 10.
yep, so just click on the modifier and type in 20.
Gotcha.
A good hit. A good hit. Plus 4, so what's your damage in total?
8 plus 4 would be 12.
12. And that will be...
Was
that
it the
is
left leg that got hit earlier too?
that is exactly what you need. As you're able to cripple him by sending your hook through his thigh, what you suspect severing an artery as you pull it out, blood spurting up into the air several feet. He is definitely no more as he bleeds out in front of you. Let's give him a... dead. We'll just give him all the icons. He's completely dead. You because he's a significant foe, you've basically bagged yourself another 2 advantage now, up to 3. Rogel, it's you to go.
Okay. I'm going to same as last time, I guess.
Okay, dart away.
I know, right? Well, actually, how much advantage do I have? 1.
Darts.
What is Stolgrim using? He's using a big 2-handed weapon, right?
Big 2-handed weapon.
Big 2-handed weapon. And that long beard on the left near Oleg. He's using
Two-handed
hammer
weapon.
in one hand.
Two-handed weapon.
He dropped his shield too as well.
Yeah, all of these guys chuck their shields down and held their weapons in 2-hand and charge forward.
So the one on the left near Oleg, I saw took a big bitey chop into him. I want to make him drop his weapon.
Yep, go for it.
Just my advantage. There's no wins or anything.
No wins here. Okay, that's a cast. Dexterity passes. Manages to keep hold of his weapon. Manages to keep a hold of it. Unfortunately, these guys have fairly good dexterity. I'm sorry. It's time for pain. Sure, now it's your to go.
Okay. I'm gonna attack the Pilgrim.
Okay.
Well, actually, hold on. Was that considered an opposed test for him? He won?
Yes, I believe so.
Or was that just him passing a save?
Yeah, it's a save.
I just wanted to know if I lose my advantage or not.
I don't know if I
it's,
reroll.
it's not opposed.
That's a yes reroll. Nothing can be worse
Okay,
than
I'll
95.
reroll.
It's a pretty... okay,
+4.
so who are you attacking here, sorry?
Big Betty.
Big bad guy, okay. Big bad guy is going to try and defend the +4. And you have the better target, though, so you do scratch him, basically.
Yeah.
Chipping into him, your blade finds its mark, again tearing through a couple of links in his chainmail, but barely making more than an inch or 2 into him. He seems to almost enjoy it as he smiles back at you. Gonna have to hit me harder than that. He raises his weapon towards you. Right.
Great.
We'll roll for those in a moment. I'll just do all of those rolls together in a second. Sanarak Dronaz is going to make a roll now against those that would lie in front of him.
Oh,
With a +8 and a natural 1. Oh my word. Okay. That might do it. That might even do it. -4. Oh my god. That is 12 over his damage of 9. That is 21, which is definitely enough to deal a critical wound. Because this guy is a big bad boss. He doesn't die when he goes to 0 hit points. But I need to find the bloody critical wounds in this. I knew I'd forget something. I guess we could roll it old school with the table. I'll tell you what I'll do, actually, is I'll just log into Roll20.
I have the book open, so
If you have the book open, let's roll a critical wound for him the old-fashioned way. That's going to be... I'll let you do it, Shauna. Do you want to roll... no, actually, it's me, isn't it, that's actually doing this. 47 on the critical table, and that is for the left arm.
Arm critical, so 47. It says gaping wound. The blow opens a deep gaping wound. Gain 2 bleeding conditions until you receive surgery, stitch up the cut, or associated arm damage you receive. Will also inflict 1 bleeding condition as the wound reopens. So 2 bleeding, and he receives 3 wounds for that.
Nice. Okay. He is well and truly critical by now. He is definitely not looking particularly good. Longbeard. Thulgrim to go, who's going to, on a between a 1 and 20, die. Because he's bleeding. In front of you, Shauna,
Yeah.
Grimvald, Oleg, a spurt of blood shoots out of his, his arm?
Left arm.
His left arm. He holds it up, trying to reach with the other hand to cover up the artery. It's going several feet up in the air right now, and you can see him drain in a matter of 5 seconds from looking like a sort of robust, beastly ox to someone that just slowly becomes weaker, eyes glazing over, and passes out. Right. With that, the dwarfs in your surroundings look visibly shaken from this. Not in terms of fear, but they've definitely reacted to this. They're still holding their weapons strong, but they look like they're considering what to do.
Shuke.
Longbeard number 1 and 2. This Longbeard is going to strike at you, Shauna.
Okay.
I will
Which
give
one?
you the opportunity to oppose this with a charm test to effectively convince him to not attack you, if you wish.
Okay. Give me a sec. Charm. With advantage.
With
Also, did I get
advantage is always calculated
for
automatically.
hitting Fulgrim?
If you did, then yes. So I've just put that in for you.
I did, but I did nothing then. +9.
Okay. With a +9, this dwarf stands down. You quickly reason with him as he raises his 2-handed axe towards you, pointing down towards Thulgrim. You tell him to cease. His thane is dead. There's no point in continuing. He gives up. Right. Who is next? Beside you, Oleg, the same situation occurs. An axe is raised in your direction. You can oppose this however you like.
Intimidate.
You could equally use Intimidate to do the same thing.
Intimidate is a slightly better roll.
Okay, you got +3 to beat.
Yeah, so Oleg's going to point at the Longbeard that was downed, and then point at the dwarf. That's
I'll give
menacing.
you, as there's another dead body, I'm going to give you a +10 modifier.
Okay.
Because there's basically someone that's dead next to him.
Okay, one modifier's up to
A
40
long
now.
beard. A long beard that's dead.
That's enough. That is enough, even with his +3. He raises the axe up above his head, looks you square in the eye. After listening to your words, glances down to his dead comrade, nods, lowers the weapon down by his side.
Listening to his words, all Oleg did was just start screaming out, "Boat! Boat!"
Well, it did the job. It did the job. And we have one more Longbeard to go now. Same to you, Grim. Let's see if they can all be reasoned with.
I am going to intimidate him. If only I could find it. Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
I'm just basically going to tell him, Mr. Dwarf, please. And that's all I tell him.
He huffs.
Dude.
But in a very intimidating manner.
He huffs for a second,
Alicia, may I have your
and then mumbles something under his breath and walks off to the side of the room. With that, the combat behind you also ceases. The Longbeards standing down after Sanarak Dronaz bellows out a mighty roar, sending one last strike into Thulgrim on the ground as the last remnants of blood fade and ooze out of his body. That was a good fight.
Hi.
Meep.
What now?
I think I need medical help again.
That went a lot better than expected.
Yeah, you see, I
Say
read
that
this
again.
manual on how to deal with BBEGs. You basically attack the BBEG.
I don't know what you're talking about, but you did good. Puts his hand on your shoulder. We've got some sorting out to do.
What do we do about the rest of the dwarves? I mean, this is like...
Leave
things are
that
not
with
going
me.
to be normal.
Leave that with me for now. First we need to find out who's doing this. Then we'll deal with them. Longbeards! With me! The remnants of the Longbeards in here form up with Sanarak. Leave the rest with us. Go get yourself a night's sleep. We'll rat
Heck
out
yeah.
whoever's sporting this three-bearded combo and have a little
May
word
we-
with them. They should fall into line now that Thulgrim's been dealt with. He takes Thulgrim's helmet. Difficult to get off of his head as it's dented and cut, and sort of takes a boot to his shoulder and takes the horns by two hands and rips it off of his head. And strolls outside of the room.
What if the three-pronged beard dwarves just undo their beards?
We'll find them. If they've been operating under Thulgrim, then it's his orders to blame. We'll deal with this the Dawi way. He strolls out. A couple of Longbeards stay behind. But all goes quiet for a moment as you are left in the hall surrounded by bloodied, dead bodies.
Okay, time for
Now
looting.
let's loot the body.
Yeah, now time for looting.
As you go to loot one, a Longbeard looks toward you.
Wait, but didn't all of them...
No, one or two stayed.
No.
Ah,
Oh no!
The moment a hand goes down toward, a weapon is raised.
I mean, you know we're gonna destroy them, but never mind, let's not.
You will not
provoke it.
desecrate the dead.
Aye, aye, Master
Oh,
Dwarf.
but
We were just
sir.
checking if they were really dead. And I wink towards him.
Out. They escort you
Bye.
out.
Bye bye, have a
Always
nice
getting
day.
kicked out of places, man.
Nice.
Just want to point out that Oleg did not attempt to loot anything when everybody else was scrambling for
Noted.
it.
Noted. You find yourself back on the streets with a crowd gathered outside.
I would like to follow. I'm pretty sure everybody else would be up for it, but I'd like to. Sorry, would you guys like to follow Sanrak or just leave it be?
Oleg's going to the temple. You guys can do what you want. He's half dead.
I wanna check on Elise.
Yeah, well then, I'll
You
assist.
and Rogo can go.
Yeah, I'll assist my brother
Talk.
to the temple, and you can go check on Elise.
And then we
Okay.
can go stalk.
Okay. Fine. The temple greets you in with Hilga looking somewhat confused. Weren't you here just 2 hours ago?
I tripped and fell again.
That is
He's
a
a clumsy
funny-looking
boy.
fool. I'm not an idiot. What's going on? I've heard
I
commotion.
fell on a big axe.
Yes, I bet you did. What's going on in there? I could hear the noises of metal clanging from here.
Your thane was an oathbreaker who decided to murder adventurers who were delving, and the Dronaz clan chief confronted him about it, and then there was a kerfuffle, and I fell on an axe.
Yeah, my brother is really clumsy. Like, I was trying so hard not for him not to fall, but I accidentally the axe. You know how these things go, yeah.
All the dead longbeards cropping up around the Carrack today, it's nothing to do with us. I just fell on an axe, okay? So before I bleed, please.
Please do your dwarven magic, yeah.
She's a human.
Please do your human magic.
I don't know any dwarven magic, but I know how to heal. Lay down on the bed.
Does he even get a healing test? You already made one on him today.
No. You get to heal your toughness bonus in wounds as she gives you a healing poultice.
Okay.
Does she also give a pep talk?
That'll be 4 silver.
He gladly pays it.
A discount as I have a feeling you've done some good here today.
Thank
Where
you.
is our money now, by the way?
Trappings? Trappings, correct.
Oh god, I have no money. Aw, man.
And just like with armor points, if you right-click or click on the quantity, it will do +1, -1, or you can edit it manually with the edit item icon.
So Oleg instantly heals toughness bonus value in wounds.
Okay, so 4.
Ah.
Now, Shauna, going back to Elise, she seems distraught by what's just happened, but equally not too surprised. They have killed the dwarves? I did not want to start a civil war, I only wanted to open a bloody mine. Well, I guess our work is done. Perhaps I will wait a few days, perhaps a week or two, and then when everything is settled, we will approach and finalize our workings.
Whatever you wish, milady.
No
Hey,
problem.
Elise, how does it feel knowing that we accomplished what you were trying to do for like the last week?
Well,
On accident.
yes, that is helpful. Thank you. I tell you what, provided I am not in any danger, and I will probably stay here for the next week, have the time off, I will pay you, but for the next, call it 2 weeks, do what you like. I'm going to just find a nice novel to read till this is all blown over, and then we will open the mine. Then we will go home and leave this place and hopefully never come back.
Hopefully.
Right. And she starts looking around one of the bookshelves by her side. To narratively move forward a little bit, over the next few hours, there is almost a slightly larger skirmish that occurs within the barracks. A large mob of dwarfs, perhaps some 30 in total, clan Dronaz, Longbeards, approach the barracks, stepping inside. Those spreading gossip of what happened inside inform you that a very small number of lives were taken from those too stubborn to give in to the new ruler, and those refusing to admit that Thulgrim Ironaxe would be an oathbreaker. But with enough axes and shields in hand, the animosity is quickly put to rest. And over the next few days, despite the minor scuffle occurring here and there within the town, no more blood is shed. The town, however, is somewhat more sombre and quiet than usual. A few funerals are arranged for the dead. The Longbeard in particular that died defending Thulgrim is given a full burial, whereas Thulgrim's body is treated with a little bit less respect, but still laid to rest in accordance with the Dawi tradition a funeral of some 10 to 15 are present. And you find yourself with some spare time within the town.
Sweet.
We need to go pick up our money that we left at the betting place.
Yes.
Also, get my fine clothes.
Your fine clothes are ready for you. They have been made and fit perfectly. They look impeccable.
They were five gold, I believe.
I believe so. Your rings
Oh,
are also ready. Each of you
Alright.
will need to roll me 1d100.
Oh, what?
Each of you roll me 1d100 as you are handed back your ring.
1d100, huh?
Yep.
Slash roll command.
Yeah, just slash roll. We'll
I
call,
rolled a
we'll
1,000.
call that a 76. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
77 technically because it's a 9 at the
Okay.
end.
The runesmith greets you all in as you approach for your reward. Hello there. I've heard about your deeds recently. Somewhat complicated what's happened in town. Glad to see you're all well, and now that Dronaz is in charge, feels things might be a little more peaceful now. Yes, your rings. I did what I could to engrave them. You'll find them all runed and, well, one of them kept to the rune nicely, I'm afraid. It's not an exact process that can be replicated reliably. It gives you each a ring at this point. I won't tell you which one works, but if you apply your finger over it and hold, making a small circular motion for about 3 seconds, you'll see.
Okay, I put mine on and circular motion it.
I did the same.
This all turned rather phallic. But, Grim, after giving your ring a little
good
bit
old
of a
rub.
stroke, it glows. It glows the light of perhaps a candle.
Mm-hmm.
Dim, but it'll last you about an hour. But once a day, it'll never fail you.
Mm-hmm. So I stroke the ring and light will glow.
Yes.
What color is the light?
It's like a soft, cool blue light. Sort of like a moonlight.
Ah, so calming.
I stroke my ring as well.
Only one of them works.
Nothing
Yeah,
happens
so
for the
basically
rest of
mine
you.
works.
Oh,
Only one of them worked. You each have a
He's the
ring.
only one that rolled under 50, I think.
And it is Grommel. And yeah, you do. You have your.
Normal, and it has a rune on it. So if you can convince somebody that the rune is good,
yeah.
Yeah,
You're making mad
they're
money.
pretty. They're more
No.
valuable than a gold ring. So you might be. I mean, it depends who buys it, and you. I would say you can roll and evaluate if you want a rough guess as to what it might be worth, but you would
I don't
instinctively
have that.
know it's worth more than gold.
Mm.
And you'd probably pay 1 or 2 gold for a gold ring, so it's hard to say. It would depend on the buyer. But the way we can proceed now, if you wish, and unless there's more specific things to do, yes, you can collect your money from Harlock. I think you put down a gold coin?
I put down 2.
Put
And
down
I
2.
put down. Hold on, let me look. I put it in my notes on the past one. I put down 4 gold bet on a 2-to-1 odds on us surviving the mines again.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote.
Technically, you did go down and come back up again,
Yeah.
even if you were only down there for 10 minutes.
I mean, we tell him like he should have seen all like beaten up. It was really shit, man.
Tiana was almost dead.
Yeah.
Given Make a charm test.
I'll
Whoever
make a
wishes to.
contest.
Make that charm test, girl. Get us
Shauna,
some
if you
money.
fail,
Yeah,
it's over
boy.
between us.
I know, right?
Oh shit! I kept my
Holy
advantage.
moly.
No! I kept my advantage, so it's
it doesn't
lower.
You
matter.
still
So it
rolled
doesn't-
you still
Yeah.
You
rolled
still rolled
like
a 6.
plus
Yeah.
6. Yeah, because of that, they accept. Otherwise, they would have insisted that you provided proof of how long you were down there. But because you're incredibly lucky with dice, as always, you receive double your money.
So that's 4.
Sweet.
I can't remember how much I bet.
I don't remember either.
I'm pretty sure it was all the gold that I had, so that would have been 2.
Start recording again. There we go. Welcome back, guys and girls. So, decided to pause for a little while we did a couple of mid-session endeavours. A little bit strange, as normally you do this at the end, but it represents what the characters did. There's a few rules for this over the 2 weeks that Elise has agreed to pay them. So, let's go through players one at a time and figure out what they've been up to. Let's start with Rogel. Rogel, what have you been up to for the 2 weeks?
Well, for the first week, I spent the time with what's his name, Gaetano, the trainer over at the temple, and trained me in some dodge skill. And then the second week, I spent spending money because I'm a little gremlin and I spend all my money on everything. So I bought myself a reading lens, which will help me. It gives me like a plus 20 on searching for fine details with perception tests. So looking for like secret doors or compartments, or being able to read really, really small or unintelligible writing.
Nice.
So super sneaky stuff. That's
Nice.
what I spent my money on.
Time well spent with Gaetano as well, being a master of martial prowess.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I got my dodge up to 58.
You can only
I'm pretty
train
happy.
everyone once, but time well spent. Shauna, what did you get up to?
I was gossiping for the first week, trying to find out anything I can about the Rook brothers. And for the second week, I was also training with Gaetano.
And what did you study in your time?
Crossbow.
Okay. During your gossip tests, you will get some handwritten notes given to you, despite the fact your character can't read, regarding the Rook brothers, but Roger will read them to you, it's fine. And
We'll have
Thank you.
story time tonight, my dear, I promise.
while gossiping, you did hear that the witch hunter that has been sent out to investigate what happened at Morlanfurt is still en route. And at the end of the first week, you found out he is within Morlanfurt, meaning his arrival will likely be imminent should he find wherever the hell the people went. Presumably you share this with the group.
Yep, of course.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Grimvald, what did you get up to?
I was shopping some things for myself, like a pair of manacles, a backpack, some healing drafts, a quill pen that I intend to give to Elise as a parting gift. In reality, I'm not sure if it's a thoughtful gift at all, and a wonderful dwarvenly smithed Warhammer.
Wonderful. Is that a two-handed hammer?
Yeah. Even
Beautiful.
though I don't have any training in it, I will get training eventually.
Eventually. Yeah, it's still glorious. Okay, nice. And I believe you also returned a jacket to an owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made yourself a friend in that time. A fellow Ronaldian who warns you that, well, there is a couple of Ronaldian sects here within this town. The Crystal Palace in particular is home to a great many few, but most that go in there wind up outside without any belongings or possessions. And no one has been able to prove what's going on yet, but he does warn you of there and has his suspicions in particular, especially as the Golden Mug seems to be selling anything that gets stolen. But he converses with you regarding Ronald, and you find out that this individual is a smuggler. And he generally works between here and Morlanfurt, and he does actually help smuggle some of the stolen artifacts at times. He trusts you enough to share this with you, seeing as you returned his favourite jacket. But he will be found within Morlanfurt or here, and should you need a smuggler, he's your man.
Yes, we're gonna need one.
Olegs, what did you get up to?
Oleg?
Oleg?
Hello, Oleg. Are you muted yourself again?
I was too busy looking at the dwarf boats. I'm sorry.
I was muted. Sorry.
It's all good.
So for the first week, while he was getting his equipment repaired, due to his leather jack being beat up and his shield being beat up, he blew all his money repairing, partying, and training with Gaetano. He trained in parry, so now he is actually proficient with parrying and using that with his shield.
Okay.
And then for the second week, he, like I said, he blew his money.
Okay. And we rolled a few random events, as happens with these endeavours. Unfortunately, the area has been somewhat stifled by an issue. Now, you guys are going to be paid by Elise by the end of the 2 weeks, but the mine that is due to be open is not open quite yet. Anyone that goes in said mine does not last very long. A few will come out telling tale of a large creature inside, which is tearing dwarfs limb from limb. And although you're confident if you bide your time it will eventually be slain, there is the possibility of doing it yourself. At this point, I'll give you a choice. You may attempt to go into the mine and do this, receiving your full salaries, or for the inconvenience and time taken, Elise will run out of money and you will get most of your salary, but forego the encounter.
You know we're gonna destroy that shit.
Let's go. Let's just kill it.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, you probably will. All right then, bear with me a second.
Yeah, we need to hunt this monster if we want to get paid our full pay.
So, we go back to the mines.
The rat ogre we avoided before.
Ta-dum.
A few others do agree to go inside and help, but the group of you feeling confident and wanting to get things done quickly so Elise and yourselves can make your way back to town agree to tackle whatever is inside. You're all full health, marvellous, and Oleg, you currently have your storm lantern, I assume, giving a little bit of light. How bright do you want it?
Well, I don't think we're going to be down here for hours on end, right? So let's make it bright enough for everybody to see within a decent amount.
It doesn't seem to stir just yet. You are free to move as you please.
Okay.
These are pillars right next to me, right?
Yes, they're pillars that go from the ground right the way up to the ceiling. Big, sort of wooden, actually stone because it's dwarfs. Everything's stone.
Yeah. Do they
Even the
have
rails are stone.
Do they even have stone toilets?
Yes, it's very cold on your booty.
They always have constipation.
The noise gets a little louder as you make your way toward the centre. You can hear clearly around you, the tunnels, there is something lurking in the darkness. What are you going to do?
Do we still have some leftover cheese?
Ooh, that's terrible music for this. That's better.
We can't hear anything.
That's because I just stopped it.
No, even before I couldn't.
Okay, well, so in the interest of time, do you do anything? Do you make noise? Do you wait?
Do we have cheese?
I stealth.
Also, yeah, I hide behind
Okay.
a pillar, waiting for my brother.
Grim, Rogue will make me a stealth test.
Do we get any bonuses?
Plus 20.
Okay,
It's
so
really dark in here.
Yep, there we go. I
Okay.
hide myself and wait with the bow too.
Okay.
I'd like to smack his shield with his boat hook and make a ruckus.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. As you do,
Clack, clack, clack.
something definitely happens. There is a roar that comes out the tunnel to your left and the tunnel to your right reverberating round. It sounds like a horrible screeching roar. It's difficult to place exactly what it is. You've never heard anything like this before in your life. And as you do so, coming charging out from the darkness, a huge figure. Moving into combat with both you, Oleg and Shauna, I'm going to ask you both to make me a cool test.
No, you cut out.
Okay.
I can hear you, I think.
Cool check. No mods. Okay.
Shauna is pooping her pants at the sight of another rat.
Shauna, you
Big
are
rat.
overcome with fear in this second. All will become fairly clear soon what that means. But coming charging out of the tunnel, a huge rat walking on its back legs, which is quite a surprise to you, Oleg. And as you're inspecting its manner of walking, makes eye contact with you, having just finished battering your shield together, raises up on two back legs and takes a swipe toward you. And that will be a +10, which I didn't give it the advantage for charging, so that is a +7. 17 + 7, 24. Unmitigated.
Okay.
You can also do other things to make sure it doesn't hit you, but that involves burning things like resilience or taking a corruption point.
Okay. Well, first off, for some reason, my wounds are above my max, which shouldn't be possible. So I'm going to drop myself back down to 19.
Okay.
And... Right, what was the damage total again?
27, mitigated by everything.
Mitigated by 7. So 20 damage.
Yep.
That's going to be just enough to murder Oleg.
It's not dead. It's a critical wound for you, though.
Okay.
So, with that...
I can... You said I can spend? I think you said resolve.
Yeah,
right?
so basically for that reroll, where you got a -3, you can spend a corruption to reroll it again, if you wished. Or you can use a resilience to just guarantee you crit it instead, if you wish.
It's a resilience and not a resolve?
Well, no, you won't have to spend a resolve. You've already spent a resolve. So you can either spend a corruption point, and you can still do the resilience thing afterwards. So you can take a corruption point and do another reroll if you wish. Or
Yeah, I guess I'll have to do that, though.
it's not a bad idea.
Okay, so one more time.
One more time. And you can still do resilience afterwards. This is where those resources do kind of come in handy.
Challenge, -20. Weapon skill test.
What's the corruption up to? Like willpower bonus plus
It's
3
on
or
there.
something?
It's automatically calculated.
So that's going to be a SL0, so it's
Still a flop, unfortunately. Now, you can either, at this point, make the choice as to whether you want to take the damage and take a critical wound, which doesn't kill you, it's just a critical wound, but it is a random injury on the table, or you can use a resilience point, and instead you can choose to roll a 11, which would beat it, I think.
Would it?
Well, you can. What would an 11 score you? And that would be +2.
Plus 23. He's got a plus 20. So you'd actually win. Yeah. He's only got a plus 20. You'd have a plus 23 if you rolled an 11.
So if you want to spend a resilience point, you can basically hit this rat and crit him in return.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we're going to roll a random injury for this. 70. Do you mind looking up 70 on the chart for me, Grim, as you've got it open?
Yes. Which body part?
That will be the right leg. We'll go for the most recent roll.
Right leg. That would be a 70. He has a torn thigh. 3 bleeding conditions. The weapon opens up your upper thigh. Pass a challenging +0 endurance test or gain the prone condition until you receive surgery to stitch up the wound. Each time you receive damage to this leg also receives 1 bleeding condition.
Damn. Okay, that's really going to mess with it. Definitely pass the endurance test, though.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, not enough to take it down, but enough to crit wound it. So you still get that advantage, OLED. Not only for winning the test, well, no, you just get 1 for winning the test, actually, and it doesn't get any in return, so OLED still stands, didn't take any damage, 1 resilience spent. You can get resilience back.
Before I forget, 3 wounds from that attack.
Thank you very much. And... Right.
Now, because he crit it, he still deals damage, right?
Only the crit damage. You don't deal weapon damage too.
Oh, okay.
So, that being said... The other rat comes in. OLED has his advantage. This rat rolled a -2, so now OLED, you get to defend against this rat.
Okay. Let's do this.
This one will hit far less because it rolled a 73. Yes. So just your regular parry now, but still the -20.
Okay. So, and advantage is there, so that's going to be the modifier put up to 18, challenge too hard, and weapon skill roll.
A clear parry for you, a decent job as you raise your shield up in the air.
And you got a critical. What's the hell?
Yeah, we'll go through that in a second. So the advantage for both of these rats has been lost as you just stab them in return. Let's see what this one does. Gain 1 stunned condition. Pass an easy endurance test to avoid vomit or gain the prone condition. Okay. That will be +40 onto it, but that would end up being a 6, actually, so it definitely passes the endurance test. But you still manage to stun it. Good job. Right, and with that being said, OLED has had his go, so have the 2 giant rats. Oh no, it's OLED, it's you to go now, actually.
Make sure to put me up in the initiative order, because I have +10 to
Grimald, it's you to go.
So because they still haven't seen me, I'd like to surprise...
Yep.
This, I can't ping, the one above Oleg.
Yep, I'll give you... +10 for it being large, +20 for short, and +20 for it being surprised. +50.
Short range is 40, though. From 0 to 10 yards, it's easy +40. From 11 to 50, it's 20.
Oh, right. It's because it's really close range. Fine. Yeah. I was going with the less than half. Yep, fine. +40, +50. So you basically hit the cap of +60.
60 modifier.
None. Just you basically capped at the +60.
Yeah.
Okay, a decent hit. 10 plus, what's your base damage for that? 8. 18 damage.
So that's 18, yeah. At body, and it's damaging and impale, so I'll use the success levels, the SL, and yeah. So that's 18 total, and the body.
Nice. How is an arrow damaging? That doesn't sound right. I know they're impale, but... I think crossbows.
No. The longbow is impale, and damaging comes from one of these. I'll tell you in just a second.
Yeah. Sure. Right, let's go here. We're going to go there. We're going to go to this. So you say that was 18 damage, wasn't it, in total?
Yeah, 18.
18 minus 11.
Yeah. So the damaging comes from the longbow, and impale is from the arrows.
Right. Okay. Right. I was going to say because it didn't come from the arrows. Fine. That's really good. Actually, damaging 0 on damaging is actually 10. It's not a 0. A confirmation from the developers. I was reading the FAQ. So you've just done another 10 damage to it. Which is bloomin' lucky. You also need to make a cool test, just to see if you're scared of it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be scared shitless, but... skills, cool.
Not
Okay.
shitless, but scared.
Okay.
Yeah, but scared.
You're scared, you can't go any closer, it's -10, and to...
And... yeah. And I just sit there.
So that would have been 1 more damage for it, but that's fine. And now we're moving on to the next player. That is Oleg to go. Oleg, what are you going to do?
I am going to boat hook the... what's the skull icon on the rat again?
That is that it's...
Stunned?
Stunned, yes.
Okay. Which one would I have a better advantage on? Probably the one that Sienna's touching.
You do, in theory, outnumber that, so it would be plus 20.
Okay. So I've got 2 advantage. It's outnumbered. And do I get a bonus because it's large?
You get plus 10.
Okay, so it's going to be 20, 20, so it's going to be 50 total for modifier.
Yep.
Melee basic.
Right.
Plus 5 SL on the head.
Nice. And minus 5 for it. So that is plus
So that's
10
gonna
to your
be-
damage.
So 18 total damage.
Nice. 18 total damaged. To 11. It's hurt pretty bad from that. You managed to take a decent chunk of damage into it. You're up to 3 advantage now. Looking pretty decent. Managed to stay alive, defending yourself very, very well against pretty rough odds. Shauna, it is you to go.
Yep. I'm gonna hit it. Oh, can I hit it, Steven? Or do I have to run away from it?
Yeah, you're broken. So your choices are you can spend one of your resolves to remove your broken condition, then you will be allowed to fight it as normal, or you can run away, scream and panic.
I wanna keep my resolve because I've already spent one of them.
You can get them back at any point by doing your motivations, just no one does. But it's up to you. Basically, if you don't spend it, you're running away this turn, and it'll attack you for free as you do.
Alright. Well then, I'm spending the resolve, I guess.
It's probably a good idea.
What do I roll now?
So you're going to get plus 30 to this in total, because you're outnumbering for the plus 20, and you're going to get plus 10 because of its size. So plus 30 for your modifier to attack it.
To attack?
Yeah.
Okay. That's 13. Plus 3.
Okay, and a minus 2 for a plus 5 in total. What's your damage plus 5?
Damage plus 5 is 12.
12. Nice. And that is going to be against... Okay, that's reasonable. You swing and take a decent chunk out of it. Its hide manages to absorb some of the blow, but you definitely chunk off a portion of its flesh, and it squeals out in a bit of pain. Right. Rogel, it's you to go.
Alright. I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to do the same thing I always do. I'm going to shoot at that guy. Do I need to roll a cool test before I do this?
Yes, you do. Otherwise, the cast is at a minus 10, but you can still cast it. You just can't move toward it.
Yes. No modifiers on the cool test.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, plus 5.
Okay. And...
Alright, so now I'm going to shoot at it.
Okay, you also get 1 advantage for attacking a stunned target, OLED, so I just gave you another one. Okay. Wow, okay, it really can't do much with the stun condition. That's really wrecked it. Okay, so let's have a dart.
I'm going to be shooting at the one, I guess, with the bleeding conditions?
Yep.
Sure, why not? Any modifiers that I'm getting?
No.
I don't think so.
Nope.
Wait, do I get plus 10 for size, or?
Nope, because it's a spell.
Nope. Thought
You're
so.
not rolling to hit it, you're rolling to use words
Whatever.
correctly. But still, you managed to
11
hit it
damage.
an overcast, so yep, okay. 14, and we're going to go for...
The left arm.
Yep. So you managed to hit both, tearing a chunk out of each with one of your darts as they go flying through the arm of one, the right leg of the other.
Pling.
Looking pretty bad. Looking pretty bad.
And I'm going to back up down here, I think.
Okay. Right, this one, and on behind OLED, fails its endurance test and is still stunned for the round. So it cannot do anything, cannot attack. It's basically useless for the moment. The next one, not quite so useless. It's going to take some bleeding damage in the moment, but first it's going to take a swipe at... most recent person to attack it was Shauna. It's going to turn and attack you. And a 0 SL in total. So, Shauna, weapon skill test, minus 20.
Weapon skill test or just a weapon?
Well, your regular weapon test, sorry. Your regular weapon test, but minus 20 for the modifier.
Yeah. That's including the advantage?
You do know how to parry with the shield now.
Oh, yes, you've got
No.
parry.
No,
She learned
no, I
crossbow.
got crossbow.
You learn crossbow, right. Yep,
So the modifier is minus 20.
your advantage is automatically done, so that 0 of his goes to a minus 1, but he did have the better target of 27 versus 14. You rolled really well. That could have gone worse. However, you are about to be hit by a tree trunk. That is a weapon of 12 plus an additional 10 damage for the 0. That is 22 damage. And an extra 1. No, that's just 22 damage, actually. 22 damage mitigated by all your bits and bobs.
So how does this work? Because
Well-
I don't have undead.
Because it's... Well, you haven't modified it yet, so it's 22 damage that will be reduced by all of your armor, etc.
Well, it's
So,
one
like, what's your toughness bonus
for
and what's
my
your
body.
armor?
Oh, toughness bonus. 3 plus 1.
You take
so that's
16
4.
damage.
That's 20.
There you go.
Isn't it 18?
You're really hurt. You are really, really hurt right now. Losing your advantage, unfortunately, too. The rat gaining his. And Grimvold, it's you to go.
So now I have to run, or can I remain here?
You don't have to run, you just can't go any closer.
Okay, I'm just gonna stay here and shoot at the one above.
Okay.
Um,
Same as before, and you get a minus 10, but you've got so many benefits that it'll be capped at plus 60.
Capped at plus 60, so Captain 60.
Yep.
Poof.
Okay. That is a 9 plus 7 damage because of your damaging ability, which is gouge. 16 plus what's the base damage?
8, so that would be 17.
24, I think, in total. You need to add the 7. You got 9 SL.
No. Damaging is you can either units die to determine the damage caused, so it doesn't add the extra damage. You just choose between the SL or the roll.
I'm thinking of impact. My bad. Yeah, I'm thinking of impact. Fine. Right. In that case, Shauna would have taken a bit less damage too, because I've just muddled those two rules. We'll
It's all good. Just keep moving
there you go.
forward.
Yeah.
Have a little bit more. You've pretty much killed them though by now. This rat is going to be pretty bad by now. It's not looking very good at all. It's nearly dead. It's still on the ground, and you get a free advantage for attacking a stunned target. So you're up to 3 advantage now.
It's only for melee attackers though for the stun.
Fair enough, but it's dead next turn anyway.
Yeah.
Oled, it's you to go.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna boat hook the stunned one. It's on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think I'm gonna be hitting cap at 60.
Yep. Well, your advantage doesn't factor into the cap.
Oh, it doesn't.
No. So,
It's
are you attacking the stunned one? Did you say?
yeah.
It's dead. But just roll an attack with plus 20, plus 20, 30 in total. Yeah, it's dead. You're able to easily meet your hook with the side of its head, taking it out. It's looking a little roughed up. Right. And lastly, it is Rogel to go. Shauna to go, sorry.
Right. I'm just gonna take it. I guess I have nothing else to do
Yep.
without risking combat.
So plus 30 for this.
Okay. +5.
Nice. And it's going to try and defend with a -2. And it's going to...
-7.
Yeah, it's not looking too good. It's going down any moment now. Rogel, can you finish it?
What's it at?
A little bit of health.
I don't know. We'll see. Cast. I have 1 advantage from last time, so
You'll
you're
need
wrong.
to do 12 damage.
Yes, let me just fix that.
You've got a couple...
Cast.
You've got one advantage, so...
Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Oh,
no, I'm
fail.
not.
No, not
I'm
quite.
okay.
You keeping that, or you re-roll?
Is someone going to die? You know what? I'll
Just
re-roll it.
Re-roll.
Yeah, let's re-roll it. Whatever.
It's the end of the session.
Are you serious?
Nice. Okay, the rat is going to take one more attack. On a 1, it's going to attack Oled. On a 2, it's going to attack Shauna.
Are you freaking serious, man?
It's going to attack Oled. Lucky for you. It is going to swing at you, Oled, with a mighty fist raised above its head.
Ooh. All
Pretty
right,
decent roll from it. But
I'm using my shield.
That is a crazy good roll from it.
Yeah.
What the hell?
so you got your,
advantage capped at 4.
your advantage is already added, so that's fine. You're basically putting the difficulty at -20 still.
Well, no, the advantage.
Oh yeah, it was
and
bleeding too.
higher.
It's still not dead though. But it's...
It's 2 rounds past. That would be 6 damage.
There you go. One last swipe.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay, so I was at 4 advantage last turn. I'm
Yep.
still at 4 now.
Did you change it? You'll be at 5 if...
I didn't change it.
Okay.
Should I be changing them?
No, it's fine. It's fine. You're at 6 now then, because not only did you attack, but you also killed it. So, yep, just
Okay.
make your attack with -20.
Okay.
Or make your defense, sorry.
Yep, weapon skill. I'm just going to bump that up by 8. And then the challenge to hard.
Okay.
So that's a
Nice.
3 SL.
You've got a shield too, so you successfully defend. And with that, it's all of you will go again. Grimmy first. It's going to be an easy arrow to finish. No need to
Yeah.
roll. You're able to deal with it. It is dead. You can breathe a heavy sigh of relief as it goes toppling to the floor.
Good job, guys.
Can I retrieve my arrows?
You can retrieve half of them.
So that's 3 shot.
You can have 2 back.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Job well done. You have managed to vanquish the enemy.
If we bring their heads over to the guard dwarves in front of the ruins, will they pay us?
You could try.
I'll
Certainly
be right back.
see if they'll pay you a bounty. If you do need to go, Shauna, you won't miss anything. It's up to you at this point, guys. We can leave it here, or there is sort of 10 minutes to throw you into the next session, but it's up to you.
I'm good for whatever.
Yeah, I can stay.
Yeah, I can stay as well.
Okay. So, you make your way out. You are greeted back in town by some pretty cheery-looking dwarfs who have been listening in on the battle keenly and staying at a very, very safe distance. Seeing as you've come out alive, covered in blood that is of a strange sort of purplish tint to your regular blood, carrying the heads of a couple of rat ogres, a mighty cheer erupts. And for the rest of the few days, you are treated well, given some food, free drinks wherever you go. And we can roll your salaries. We'll do that. We'll do that now. Everyone roll 4d10. I'll roll for Shauna if we need.
What are we rolling?
4d10 for how much salary,
Thank you.
how much money you got over the 2 weeks. So I rolled that for Shauna, which is about average.
I roll.
Pretty. Oh, hello. You can roll for yourself, Shauna, if you like. Just 4d10.
I have plus 1d10 extra because of criminal.
You can do 1 extra d10. So did you do that? Nice. Cool. Okay, that's how many silver pieces you get for the week.
Nice.
Now, during this last few days, Rogel, Oleg. Hello?
What's up?
Can you hear
The
us?
last few days, what?
I was waiting for Shauna. She said something.
Oh.
Martina zboriš, ама нищо не се слуша.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can
Yes.
you hear us?
What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How much more do we have
You
left?
can yeet, it's fine. I'm just doing it. It's like 10 minutes of narrative and then we're done. But you can catch up with it if you like. You won't. It's fine.
I'll have to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. It's only that if we do this now, it would make your decisions next session a little bit easier, I think.
I mean,
We can catch you up on what happens. Yeah.
They can catch you up in 2 minutes as to what happens.
Yeah. Okay. Well, bye.
See ya.
Bye bye.
So, Rogel and Oleg, during the last few days back in the town, you find your old wounds you suffered back in Boghafen in the sewers starting to itch uncomfortably. It's perhaps only 24 hours later that you were both stricken with fever, heavy malaise, a few boils break loose on your skin. It appears after you go to Hilgard that you have been struck with rat fever. Not a particularly nice and pleasant thing, not particularly dangerous, but tends to cause fatigue, minor convulsions. You're not going to be very good for a little while to, let's say, compete and interact in, well, more or less anything. Can you each roll me 3d10?
Oh boy.
3d10. 1d10 3 times or just a flat 3d10?
Just 3d10.
Hey. Same.
Very lucky for both of you that Hilligard seems fairly confident that it will probably last in the region of 3 weeks for each of you, give or take. It's not an exact science, but she's pretty confident that you'll be all right. It may just take a while. She gives you a few things to keep you going, fight off the fever and keep a few things at bay, enough to last a week, similar to what you were previously given. And you get to enjoy the remaining few days while Elise does the final details with Sanarak Dronaz, who is now the thane of the town. While sitting in a tavern, just a couple of days before you leave, an individual bursts inside. There's about 5 to 10 dwarfs currently within. The individual is wearing a pointed hat at the top. One that may be a little bit familiar to you. Someone else comes inside with him. And another, and another, and another. And soon you are faced with a tavern rather cramped and full of individuals. He looks down toward your table. Hello there. I think I've been looking for you.
No, mister, you got the wrong table.
He pulls out a little piece of paper. Holds it up beside you. Looks at the paper. Looks at you. We're going to need to have a little word. Where can we talk? He looks toward the barman.
Currently, we are staying with Clan Dronaz, so if you would like to come back to their compound with us, that would be preferable. Their heavily guarded compound
He pulls out a piece of paper from his side, holds it up in the air. By the powers that I have, I will ask you all to leave. I apologize for interfering with your drinking, Dawi, but this is important. You may have a sorcerer or a witch amongst you. We are here investigating some dark arts.
Ooh.
The dwarfs look furious. Not happy. But they leave, because there are 10 individuals right now with a crossbow. Pointed at basically anyone that's not leaving. And these people look fairly well trained and heavily armed.
Do we need to make a cool check so we don't shit ourselves?
Yeah, everyone make a cool check.
Why did you ask?
Now,
This is the time I succeed.
Oh yeah, look at that. Versus an 82 needs to get minus.
Literally the only one.
Oh wait,
that's
it kept
wow.
my.
It's kept
it
your
kept
advantage,
my-
that's fine.
Yeah, but
you
still
still
succeed.
passed. You still passed. Okay. Well, let's have a seat, shall we? He sits down, a pistol in hand pointed toward the four of you. So, care to tell me what happened in Moreland Fort?
Well, we went rampaging down through the sewers, and it was stinky, and we got attacked by these big tentacle things, and there was a rat catcher who was a little bleeping bloop in the head, right? Eh?
Yeah, on Constios. Yeah.
And then we came up from under the sewers because we were looking through the sewers for the rat issue, because the rats were everywhere and we had nothing better to do. But you see, once we came up from the sewers, there was a little boy, and he pointed at us, and this big bald man who was shouting for blood, he attempted to kill us with a bunch of other men. And we had to defend ourselves. But we reported this to the authorities, yeah?
Yeah, but you see, we never met the boy, and he pointed the finger at us, which was really strange.
And plus, the big tentacles in that sewer.
What are you guys
Yeah.
talking about? I don't remember
That's
some
it.
little boy. Who
And
are you talking about?
Where is the other? There was another halfling or magic user.
Eh? The one that owned the eatery?
Yes.
He was the only one with us, but I don't remember any magic.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't remember
magic
much
is
of that.
big fires and stuff
But-
exploding, yeah?
After we were done with that, we just simply left. We had no business there left. So
We were only there in the employ of someone as a guard, which we then escorted to the Carrack here, where we've been since. So
yeah, you might know Elise McGillius. She can vouch.
You can make a charm test.
Any bonuses?
Nope.
Which one?
Yes! Oh!
Phoenix Mixon.
He turns to his side. How many reports do we have of magic? About 4, sir. 4 people, sir, saw magic coming out their hands. Yes. Okay. Now, I might well believe you, stopping a heretic. I tell you what. Points to 2 individuals by the side. Search them. See what you find. I'm not convinced.
Rogan.
Do you give up your belongings freely?
I do.
Yeah, I do as well.
You have 1 pistol
Oh,
and
wait.
10 crossbows currently aimed at you.
Should we explain what we found in the water source? Just so there's no misunderstanding? Perhaps he can take it for us?
Yeah, I need to, because I have that. And then I also have the engraved skull from the demon that got summoned underneath. Was it the Root Broader estate, or who's? When we went to those sewers where we just got sick finally from.
I don't remember.
It was so far ago, I don't remember as well. I think it was the
The
Rugbroda.
demon that made us shit ourselves and run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the demon that made everyone poop themselves and run. Yeah, I still have that skull, so I guess we should tell them about that too. And we need to show them the ring and tell them about how that was in the water source, causing it to be poisoned, and we're going to be taking it to Altdorf so that it could be handled.
A necromantic ring, you say?
Yes.
Well, that is what the dwarven runesmith here told us.
He takes the box, investigates it, doesn't touch, opens up the cloth that it's held within, inside the box. Not good. Places it on the table beside him. Upon seeing the skull, however, his eyes open a little bit wider. They bear the marking of the enemy. How long have you been carrying this?
Not for very long, not until I could find someone who could handle this as well. I can't.
He turns to his side. Bind them.
Sweet. You're awesome in understanding.
Entschuldigung, but please don't bind me. I have nightmares from when my daddy beat me.
5 of the 10 individuals at this point bind each of you to your chair and gag the small one. Can't have him talking.
Can I specifically, like, while I'm bound and gagged? Well, they're not gagging me, but just bounding me. Like, can I manage to eat something off the table that's left, like breadcrumbs
You
or
can
something?
quickly shove something in your mouth.
Yeah, okay.
You are all bound to your chairs as they take some rope which they have in their possession and tie your hands together, your feet together, and a gag for each of you as well. Can't have you casting any magic.
Before they gag Oleg, he's going to insult their knots.
Okay. You can do it intimidate if you like.
I specifically make a comment about his pointy hat and being in the circus.
Okay. What happens next? He begins conversing with a few of them. Make me a perception test to see if you can hear anything. You are all bound at this point to your chairs.
Oh, now I roll good. I mean, not that I'm rolling good in general. But...
Yeah, me too, dude. What?
My advantage.
Nice. Grimvald, Rogel, listening in carefully. You can hear some mutterings, mumblings. He's doing a clear effort to make them, his words, softer, but your ears prick up, and not having much else to focus on, you tunnel vision, and you hear the following. If they have one of these, we cannot take any chances. We burn them. 2 hours. Prepare the stakes. I will keep watch. The 10 individuals at this point walk out of the room. He turns toward you and takes a seat with a pistol in hand, eyeing up each of you. The next half hour goes by incredibly awkwardly. Any movement from each of you, he raises the pistol up, points it toward. Until you cease your movement, he brings it back down.
I'm trying to make noise like I'm trying to speak to him. Does he remove my mouthpiece?
No.
For a little while?
You can cease your wriggling. We do not listen to the heretic. Another half hour goes by, and you can hear some commotion outside. You're not sure what, but you can hear people moving things. It sounds like wood is being scraped and moved around. The next half hour goes by even slower as you can hear, and just outside of the window you get a very slight inkling that something is being put together for you. It's at this point the door opens, and as you are not facing that direction entirely, gagged, lights dim at this point, you do not recognize the figure that walks in. They look of dwarven stature, but somewhat shorter. The witch hunter, still eyeing you carefully, turns his head a few degrees. Is it ready yet? Is it... You see a knife draw across his throat as it is slit in front of you. The hood is raised from the individual, and in front of you... I knew you were with us. Come with me. Pulls a small knife out, cuts the ropes and your bindings. You have been greeted by Hegekin, your friend.
Shit.
Yes, I knew it.
We need to get you somewhere safe.
Quick, I know somewhere you can go. We get you out of here, don't worry. He takes you out of the back, through a small tunnel into a cellar, back up through a drain. Everyone make me a stealth test.
We get our equipment back, I assume, right?
Everything is still there on the tables. Your equipment is in front of you. Hegekin quickly goes to close the door behind.
Any bonuses for stealth?
Plus 20. He throws a towel to
you're
each
sick?
of you. Yeah, he throws a towel or a cloth to each of you being...
Damn, this Discord.
That's all
You're
good.
sick, any
He
bonuses?
throws a hood or robe to each of you, perhaps a sort of cape of sorts, and plus 20, as you each hurriedly make your way across the streets to his designated location.
Mine's actually a plus 5. I didn't know about the plus 20 when I put it in.
Okay. We'll roll one for Shauna. Okay, not too hot. Okay, you make a little bit of noise. The people on lookout, however, are very busy putting together some wood into what looks like a bonfire to you. Something that
It's
perhaps would be...
horrifying.
Yes, seeing as it was being built for you. It's not a long walk before you're taken to the temple, and Hegekin goes beside an altar, quickly shoves it to one side, using all of his body weight that seemingly this small individual can muster. It gradually scrapes to one side, revealing a stairwell down below. You won't be safe here anymore. You better get out. May the dark gods be with you. Down. Pushes you down a narrow stairway. Once you enter, you can hear the scraping again as it is covered behind you, and as it locks back into place, you hear a heavy, thick click.
I never thought the Chaos Gods would save us.
You are currently in darkness. There's a little bit of torchlight down below, perhaps.
Before, in the darkness, I just say like, guys, what the fuck just happened?
What the hell, dude? I
Bruder,
can't help but laugh at that whole situation. What the fuck?
are we the baddies now?
Oh, dude, I don't want to be bad.
But I want to be a good boy.
5 minutes,
Okay.
we're nearly done.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
The stairway goes down for some 20, 30, 50. They go on and on. A little bit of light right at the end that you can just about make out. As you get there, there is a torch lit at the bottom. And as you can see, you're on a new map. I trust everyone has some vision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can indeed.
Did Rogel swipe the ring and skull on our way out?
It's up to you.
Duh.
Did he leave
Yeah,
it?
it was all
no,
on the
I brought
table.
it.
It was all on the table.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking everything.
Right.
I don't trust it with them. He just got killed by some Chaos Dwarf. He obviously can't do shit.
Oleg is almost at 50% corrupt by now.
Mm.
Just wanna
have to
point
do
that
some
out.
have to do some cleansing soon, or you might get
He's
some
at a 3 out of
mutations.
7.
Nice. So you are at a dark. It looks like you're back in the catacombs, possibly, but it's a different type of rock here. At least it looks somewhat unfamiliar to you. This looks far more like a natural cave, far less travelled by dwarfs, and no signs of anything in your immediate vicinity that has any bearings of dwarvishness. Just looks like a cave and cavern. You are free to explore.
Free to
Bruder,
explore.
it is time to light.
Release the lantern.
Vision.
All right.
I
you
equip
go.
my bow,
Okay.
and you might want to move Shauna with us.
Yeah. You step forward, and this is at a very slow decline, gradually going downhill. Now, bearing in mind, having gone down these stairs, Oleg, Rogel, you can feel the sweat starting to drip off of you. Two people with a fever, malaise, intermittently having convulsions. A flight of stairs like that is probably the most movement you've done for the past few days.
Probably. Good thing I got my walking stick.
Right. Up ahead, Oleg, you spy a statue with a table or altar in front of it.
Oh. Oh, what is this?
Yeah,
A naked boy.
this doesn't look.
Is there a body on it?
That is a body. That's not a statue. As you get close, it looks like it's been dead a little while. The colour of the skin has faded to a pale. It's starting to look a little leathery. You can see on the hands some golden rings. On all fingers. Each one
Are they
a golden
rings
ring.
or are they like, you know?
They're golden
poured
rings.
on?
No, they're jewellery. And behind a statue of what looks like a female figure with multiple arms, but a head that resembles neither beast nor woman. Nothing you could...
Oh, can I roll lore magic on this? So hard.
You can do more than that. You can roll me a willpower test.
Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, boy.
I just guys, would it be alright if I shoot the corpse
How
to
would I
make him is
re-roll
dead?
that? My last re-roll of the day.
I'll let Shauna roll separately next time.
Oh, for fuck.
That's... Okay,
Yay.
Oleg, no corruption for you. Rogel,
Wow.
a corruption point for you as you stare a statue of Slanesh straight in the face. Grimble, a corruption point for you as well. This
Corruption, yeah.
creature or statue is, for a second you look at it and you swear that it is flesh, almost seeming to move in front of you the way the light flickers off of it, but clearing your head for a second, you're able to see clearly. Now,
What sort of feelings are we invoked with upon seeing the statue?
you feel an urge, lots of urges. You want to investigate it, you want to touch it, you want to...
Nope.
You want to... you get the urges to, at least. Now,
I combat them and like I do a big gulp and like pee not now. And move just back.
okay. The figure in front of you lays there on the table. Shauna eyes up carefully and looks at the rings in particular. Do you think she would touch one?
I absolutely believe she would try and steal all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I too believe, but
This
for
is
the sake
Shauna.
of
Sure. I think she would too. Shauna goes to move one of the rings. And
Shauna, no, don't.
her fingers touch it. She pulls it off. And she freezes. She doesn't move. Stays still for maybe 5-10 seconds.
like while she's sitting still, I'll go and give her a kick in the ass and see what happens. Like not a hard kick, but that friendly like pat on the ass.
She doesn't seem to acknowledge your kick. And as you look at her in a little more detail, you see her bottom jaw shaking and her eyes gazing with the statue.
Like,
Which has
can I very
moved
carefully, like as she picks up the ring, like use the bow, the edge of my bow.
Yeah.
I don't know how they called it, to try and flick it away from her hand.
You can. Her hand is not being operated by her right now, at least. She's basically frozen in terror. She takes another 10-20 seconds to gradually snap out of this and starts to step backwards and move away.
So, Shauna, what did you see?
She points towards the statue once more, and looking back at it again, you can see that the head has moved. It is looking towards Shauna. It is not moving, but it was moved toward her. As has one of the arms moved to point in her direction.
That's enough, Shauna, and I just pull and drag her backwards.
She starts to run. Up
Shit.
and up, screaming. She failed her terror test by about 7 degrees. she makes her way slowly downhill through the tunnel. Roll an athletics test.
Well, at least now we know that these were Slaneshi cultists.
Oh my god, I'm out of rerolls. This is so terrible.
Okay. And both of you would be an extra 2 SL on top of that because of your current afflictions, so -5 for both of you. Shauna manages to get quite far ahead despite the fact it's dark. She can barely see where she's going. She chances on ahead at a very steep decline now. This goes on for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And eventually, you find yourself seeing a little bit of daylight up ahead. As you emerge, not at the same point you had previously been, but at the base of a mountain. I don't think Rogel has a token here. Apologies.
No.
Ah, no, there you are. You come out of a small cave beside the dwarven hold of Kazak Grom.
Can I note down the location on like anything that we have, like a piece of paper or anything?
You can indeed.
Yeah.
And on that note, we'll end today's session.